If we take a look at kindergarten, in addition to the content and skills that the draft standards subsume from the Common Core, the new draft standards also include additional standards for patterning, calendar, time, and measurement. In addition to the content and skills that kindergarten teachers were already teaching for the last couple of years, there are now an additional 4 standards for number sense, 3 additional standards for algebra, an additional standard for geometry, 1 additional standard for measurement, and 3 additional standards for data analysis and probability. That might be quite a bit to add to the kindergarten math curriculum. So teachers might look at what has been added and whether or not it's important for that content and skill to be included in their curriculum. In first grade, in addition to all of the Common Core state standards being subsumed by the new standards, there is a new algebra strand that has been added to first grade. In addition, there are 2 additional number sense standards, 2 additional computations and operations standards, 7 additional standards for algebra, 2 additional standards for geometry, 2 for measurement, and 2 for data analysis and probability. Looking at second grade, again, all of the content and skills for second grade that were in the Common Core are subsumed in the draft standards. There is, however, an additional algebra strand and additional measurement content. There are 2 additional number sense standards, 1 additional computation and operations, 5 additional standards for algebra, 3 for geometry, 4 for measurement, and 2 for data analysis and probability. In third grade, again, the Common Core state standards have been subsumed, but there is quite a bit added on data analysis and probability. And again, these are abstract concepts that are difficult for third graders to conceptualize. There are 4 additional standards for number sense, 2 for computations and operation, 5 additional standards for algebra, 3 for geometry, 6 for measurement, and 7 additional standards for data analysis and probability. My concern in third grade is certainly that we are adding too much content, and also that we are adding abstract concepts that are difficult for third grade students to understand. In fourth grade, the content from the Common Core state standards have been subsumed in the draft standards, but they also put back in data analysis and probability and more content on measurement. This content is also taught in grades above or already contained in the science standards. Students really need to have time in fourth grade to develop their understanding of fractions. Multiplying a fraction by a whole number has been removed from the standards, but this standard is foundational to understanding multiplication of fractions in grade 5. That's certainly a standard I would recommend be added back into the standards. While all of the additional data analysis and probability that's covered in other grade levels really doesn't need to be a focus in fourth grade. Also missing from grade 4 is a standard for solving multi-step word problems posed with whole numbers and having whole number answers using the 4 operations, including problems in which remainders must be interpreted. Represent these problems using equations with a letter standing for the unknown quantity. Assess the reasonableness of answers using mental computation and estimation strategies, including rounding. That's certainly a skill that our students would need before they leave the fourth grade. Also missing in fourth grade is the standard where students are required to fluently add and subtract multi-digit whole numbers using the standard algorithm. Fourth grade has standards that have been added into it. There are 6 additional number sense standards, 1 standard for computations and operation, 6 additional standards for algebra, 4 for geometry, and 5 for data analysis and probability. In 5th grade, when we look at the standards, all of the draft standards include what was previously in the Common Core state standards. In addition, they have added 7 additional standards for number sense, 3 for computations and operation, 6 for algebra, 6 for geometry, 7 for measurement, and 2 standards for data analysis and probability. Please take time to review these standards and make sure your voice is heard. Your recommendations, your comments, or spoken testimony at the hearings taking place next week are important to this process and making sure that Indiana has the best standards, allowing you to teach high-quality curriculum in your classroom every day. Thank you.